Well, well, well. It is I. It is I, Sir Bobby Buvett, welcoming you to a new quest. At today's quest, we're playing a game called It Gets So Lonely Here. This is an indie visual novel game, and yeah, I don't really expect people to join, but if there are people who's gonna join, then please feel free to be welcome. I don't know what I'm saying. My English is broken. I just want to play. Yeah, but yeah, this is an indie game. I'll leave the game's link on the description down below if you guys want to check it out for yourself. If there's people watching, yeah, without further ado, let's get this started, shall we? I don't know what's the plot of this game. I just saw this on itch.io and then I was like, yo, I thought this is gonna be a cool game to play on stream. Even if nobody is gonna watch, I don't care. I just want to have fun. So yeah, It Gets So Lonely Here. This is a visual novel, so I'll just start. Great. Let's just start, right? Alright, I'll check my volume first. You may hear me. Okay, I think my volume is pretty okay, so let's just start this thingy. Start. You're running through a forest. I'm gonna be reading a lot today. It is late at night and the sky is as black as pitch. There is nothing to light your way save for the moon's milky glow, but its rays cannot reach you. Not properly. The trees which surround you, jutting out of the earth like eerie monuments to a foreign god, are blotting out most of the light. You cannot see where you are going. Even if you had commenced your flight at a more sensible hour. However, with the light of the sun to aid you, it would be of little use. Read time. Somebody on chat just say it's read time, so I have read time. Okay. Alright, my volume's pretty okay. You do not know where you are going. You have no map, no route, no plan. I'm just winging it. You're running like a frightened animal, anxious and nervy, with no destination in mind. You have no desire as you run, save to escape. You cannot let yourself be caught. If that were to happen, you're certain that you would be ruined. You have no choice, therefore, but to keep going on and on and on, so your feet are screaming at you for mercy. Not my feet. You have no idea how long you have been running. Time has begun to blend together. It has lost all meaning. Something sharp snags at the hem of your skirt, but you do not have the luxury to pause and examine what has happened. Instead, you tug. Your skirt hears a sound splitting through the forest and you stumble forward with a shock gasp. You are free, but at what cost? Your skirt has been I don't know how to read that. Irrevocably damaged. It might be too late to worry about such trivial matters now, though. If you do not start running again, and soon she will catch you. Who's gonna catch me? Who's gonna catch me? Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just checking my volume. If it's okay. My one viewer, can you tell me if it's okay? I don't know. Anyway, let's resume. Then your life will be over. You do not know if she is still following you, but you do not want to risk looking over your shoulder. If you were to see her silhouette beneath a tree looking at you with that sickly sweet smile which once ensnared you, you would lose what little nerve you possess. Your legs would lock up and your blood would freeze in your veins. Then you would crumble. You would fall, but you would not hit the ground. she would be there to catch you. So something is chasing us, and it's a she. Did she not promise when you made that contract that you would never be alone? You would like to take back that silly wish of yours, but it's too late for that. It is too late for a lot of things. All you can do is run. Oh no, this is kind of scary and spooky. You run and run and run while icy fog swirls about your feet. It is cold enough to sap the heat from your body, and you shudder from it. It feels as though you are drowning. It feels as though you are being buried alive. Your knees and your shins, meanwhile, are bleeding. You cannot endure much more of this. More of this. But if you value your own life, you must. You run, and you run, and you run until, at long last, you reach a fork in the road. There are 3 paths which split off through the forest. Well, 4 if you count the path down, which you came. Big reading. You cannot exactly double back in yourself, though not when you have put so much effort into running forward. You can only press on. 3 paths are signposted, which is something of a strange sight given you are so deep in the forest. Dark though it might be, you have grown accustomed to the shadows. I can't read. You can just about pick out the writing on this old dilapidated as signpost, curved and slanted though it is. Yo, I can't read. Your fate, if you will forgive me for sounding cliche, is in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? Crap choices. So I guess this is like the 3 routes that one can take in this game. I don't know if I'll be doing the 3 routes in this whole live stream, but if the game is short, then I will. But if it's like long, then of course I will not. Anyways, I don't know what to pick. Let's go to the village, to the castle. Since I'm a knight, Sir Bobby Buvett, I'm a knight, I am more, what's the word? More welcome to see a castle, but the castle can also be a battlefield, depending on what castle I may be in, but still, I will go to the castle. Castle, maybe? Yeah, let's go to the castle. So, you want to go to the castle? Good idea. All decent fairy tales tend to conclude in castles once they're beleaguered. I don't know what that means. That's a big word for my big, small brain. But upon heroines are finally able to wed the handsome princess they once dreamed of, why bother trying your luck with the shore, which may very well be deserted, or the village, which will be full of dirty barefoot peasants? Oh shoot, I forgot to save. There's a save button. I should have saved on that choice, but oh well, here we go. It's far better to skip the suffering and go straight to the grand finale. That is very astute of you. I did not realize you had it in you to be so mercenary. I can only wonder what you will uncover during your moonlight wanderings. The night is far from over, and your adventures are only just beginning. I hope only that you have brushed up on your courtesies. They might come in handy when one is interacting with a sovereign. Royals can be temperamental after all. If you fail to treat them with the prerequisite amount of respect, you might come to regret it. Yes, you follow the path which leads to the castle, supporting yourself on weary, aching legs which feel ready at a moment's notice to detach from your hips. You are little more than a wisp of girl, but you have been running for so very long, and your feet are so very numb. You feel like a great lumbering thing, clumsy and ungainly. The soles of your feet are screaming at you. You need to lie down, and quickly. The only hope as you continue to run that you will find a spare room available for you in the castle. You do not know what exactly will await you at the castle, but you have visions as you run of a vast, opulent dwelling. By the way, the soundtrack and the sound mixing of this game is so good. It's kind of creepy. This dwelling will surely be full of finely furnished rooms in which you might rest your weary head. There must also be a king and a queen inside this castle, you ponder. Will be kind and wise, and what of their children? What of a princess? Every good castle must possess a princess who will take the pity on you and your plight. You can imagine the face of this generous princess with ease, thanks to the fairy tales you read in abundance as a small child. The princess will be fair of hair and a blue of eye, with soft pink lips pursued like rosebuds. Her limbs will be slender as dainty and unsullied from physical labor, and her sensibilities will be sweeter than marzipan. She will be kind to you and compassionate, just like an older sister. We're still running, by the way. You do not know what older sisters are like, though. Or younger sisters, for that matter. You're only guessing. You are not a complete fool, however, despite your tendency to daydream, and you do have a few reservations. Okay? Monarchs do not, as you know from voracious reading, have the best track record when it comes to caring for the peasantry. Is there not a very famous queen who once said with a cavalier wave of her hand that the hungry peasants in her kingdom should content themselves with cake if bread was not an option? You'd think that this might be a misquote, but the point still stands. Though royals are supposed to grant their subjects succor in their time of need, this does not always happen. In fact, it very rarely happens. Kings and queens and princesses and princes are just people at the end of the day, and they are subject to the same crisis that all humans are. You can also be careless and selfish and inconsiderate. There is no guarantee that this mythical princess of your imagination will help you. That's true. They might even kill me, not gonna lie. Why? There is no guarantee that this mythical princess exists at all. Still, you must try. It is this hope which keeps you going. You continue to run to the castle. It takes some time before you finally emerge from the woods, but finally, you do it. How much time, you ask? I cannot answer that. Did I not say the time had begun to lose all its meaning? Yeah, we've been running quite a while. The forest is behind you now, at least, and all the awful nightmares which dwelt within it. It is still cold, though, and foggy, and very, very dark. The sun is yet to rise. You can see the moon more clearly now. The wizard hangs above your head, round as any pearl or orb or crystal ball. There's no music. I'm scared. Is this a horror game? I don't know if this is a scary game, not gonna lie. The moonlight shines down upon the castle, which looms in front of you like a cliffside. Oh crap. We at the castle! Oh, it surely brings back memories. Brings back memories of the old and wise. The stone edifice of the building is imposing, and it drowns you in in shadows darker than the depths of the deepest ocean. The castle is now dark, though not like the night skies above it. When you crane your head, you can see that there are lights flickering within, in the narrow, slitted windows. It would appear that somebody is home. The king and the queen, perhaps? One of their servants? What, perhaps more presently, their guards? The apex expect as you stand there, the armored knights will accost you for daring to approach the castle of the king and queen. So and so. Do you not know your place, foolish peasant girl with the dirty skirt? Begone with you! You are not, of course, a peasant. Your family is a wealthy one, or rather they were, before your father made a series of poor financial decisions. Okay, lore. You do not look like a young lady right now, though, with your dirty face and your dirty skirt which is torn at the hem. If any guards were to take you for a vagrant, it would not be surprising, but, oh, you stand there tittering, your filthy fingers hooked in front of your filthy skirt. You do not hear any cries. Nobody sounds the alarm. Lights might be on the entire castle, but there is nobody outside in its perimeter, standing sentry. There is nobody to impede your entry in the elaborate iron gates that are set into the vast stone walls about the castle's exterior are open. Just a crack. It would be a trivial matter to slip inside. There is nobody to stop you. Let's go. Let's sneak in. Why are you trembling now, you silly thing? You have come so very far. It would be an act of foolishness to turn around now. So, is somebody talking to me? Like, I feel like this narration, I feel like somebody is talking to me. It's kind of scary. Go on, go. You inhale perhaps in an attempt to screw up your courage, which has at long last begun to fail you. And then you step forward. You slide between the wrought iron gates, as stealthy and as secretive as a thief, then cross the path which leads up to the tall, imposing structure. The dome doorway, which leads into the castle itself, and from stone, is close, but at a push of your palm, it swings inwards. The door creaks alarmingly as it opens, a sound loud enough to split the silence like thunderclap. You inhale at this and glance around, your eyes darting hither and thither. Okay, this is Loki. This is Loki scaring me, not gonna lie. Loki scary? What the hell? If there are any guards posted about the castle's grounds, they should have all have been alerted by that sound. Will they come for you at long last? What will happen should they catch you? Will they throw you into the dungeons? That does not sound like a pleasant way to spend a night. At least you would have a roof over your head, though, and you would not have to keep walking. Your feet really do ache. You stand there for an indeterminable amount of time, your heart pounding a panic, irregular rhythm in the base of your throat. But no matter how much time elapses, no guards come. Is this castle abandoned? You are thankful for your good luck, though it does make you wonder, where is everybody? Why is it almost as if all the people in the world have disappeared? Could you be the very last human left alive? That's silly. You frown and then presses your palm back against the door. You push less cautiously, this time heedless of the loud sound which splits the silence. There is no point in worrying about the guards, not when they might very well be non-existent. I'm scared. Somebody hold my hand. Somebody hold my feet. I'm kind of scared. Your entry to the castle secured you, and then take a step forwards. The door swings shut behind you, and the resultant slam makes you jump. I'm gonna save. Yes. Yes. Wait. Wait. How do I unpause? Oh, there's an X there, wait. I feel like my avatar is out of... I feel like Sir Bobby is kinda in the way of the text. Oh crap. You weren't supposed to see that. Anyway, I'm gonna make myself smaller so that people can actually see the text. There you go. I promise I am not halfless. It's just OBS. Yes, gaslighting you into You did not saw a thing, and I think you can read the text now. Maybe. Yeah. I think that's pretty fine. Anyway, the door swings shut behind you, and the resultant slam makes you jump. You did not expect it. Your heart knocks against your ribs, and with wild eyes you glance about. You are standing in a vast entrance hall made of stone, which splits off into any number of passages. At the very end of the hall, meanwhile, there is a large, elaborate staircase, one which seems to extend to the heavens themselves. It is dark inside the hall, but there are numerous torches set in sconces in the stone wall, which are aflame. They offer some relief from the shadows. You can hear the faint sound of the wind outdoors as it moans against the castle's impervious walls, but you cannot hear any footsteps. You cannot hear any voices. You cannot More importantly, hear any people. Maybe the castle is empty. If that's the case, so then who lit these torches? It is a curious conundrum. You muster up what remains of your courage, then cry out, addressing the empty hall in Timur's voice, which fails to properly fill up the space. Hello, you say, your eyes wide. Is anybody there? Your voice echoes through the vast, empty hall, but is met yet again with silence. You gotta say you are too surprised, but it is somewhat disappointing. Not one to be deterred, you tried again and again, your voice growing louder with each subsequent attempt. No matter how loud your voice, however, it fails to reach any ears. If anybody is here, they do not seem to be particularly sociable. That, or perhaps they simply cannot hear you. Could they be in another room? Yes, that must be it. You will never find that pretty fairy tale princess of your imagination if you stand idle, you know. It is time to get to work. Put those legs of yours to good use, even though my legs are aching and dying. I'm kind of scared, not gonna lie. I don't know if this is a horror game or not. Not knowing what else to do. Is there anything else to do? You begin to explore. Oh god. You examine the rooms first on the ground floor of the castle, which are of a similar scale to the impressive entrance hall. Large and richly furnished, but utterly unoccupied. After some time of aimless meandering and encountering nobody save the ghosts of ions, past memorialized on portraits upon the walls, you muster the courage to ascend to the second floor. Is this a good idea? Is this a good idea? Just roaming a potentially haunted castle with somebody chasing us? This floor, too, you examine wandering to a seemingly endless series of hallways until at long last you find a door which is ajar. From between the crack in the door and the jamb, you can see a flickering light, irregular, yes, but it is light nonetheless. Could it be from a fireplace? That would suggest then that this room is occupied unlike all the others. Perhaps the kindly princess you dreamt of will be awaiting you in this room. It is with a trembling hand that you press your palm against the door. And I gently open the door. Okay, now I'm scared. Then you step inside the bedchamber which unveils itself to you. Finally, you stand near the threshold of the chamber, much of your courage extinguished, and gasp. The bedroom itself is gorgeous. It is a chamber of so luxuriant, not even the shadows can obscure the fine craft of the furniture within it, nor the rich patterns on the walls. It is a girl inhabiting the chamber, however, who truly takes your breath away. Oh, finally, a person! And I don't know what's with the sudden accent change, I just felt like doing it. Setting upon the velveteen sheets of the towering four-poster is a girl in a sumptuous red gown who seems to be of a like age to you. Sister? You do not have a clear view of the girl's face. Her head is bowed, her gaze directed downwards at her lap. You can tell from her hair, however, and from her slender calves, which protrude from beneath the hem of her dress, that she is very pretty. Utsukushi. The girl's hair is golden, just like freshly cut wheat, but it is the red of her dress which truly captures your attention. She is so striking you cannot look away from her. Oh, what the fuckity fuck is that? That's scary. Hell no, I don't want to look at that. Damn, that's a scary painting. The girl is not alone in her chamber either. She has a companion, so this companion is not half so endearing as she. In her lap, perched upon her velvet skirt, is a doll. Oh my god, I hate dolls. I don't like this already. If she moves, I'm gonna quit the game. The doll's hair, like that of her mistress, is golden, and so much of it is hidden beneath a bonnet. The girl is adjusting the china teacup held in the doll's tiny hand, with the rim of the cup glints in the light which soothes from the fireplace. What is this background music, bro? It's like something is chewing on my ear. If the girl is of a similar age to you, it seems strange that she would content herself with playing with dolls. Hey, don't judge. Is she not too old for it? Don't judge. Maybe she just like dolls, you know? Maybe she didn't have any opportunity to play with dolls when she was younger. Shut up, narrator. Anyway, this girl would be more at home. You decide on a ball wearing an extravagant gown. Speaking with wealthy noblemen, perhaps even prince. She should not be sitting in what you presume in her bedchamber, adjusting a teacup in a doll's hands. Are you gonna talk to me, or are you just gonna stand there? But you are not afford much more time to stand there, marveling at the girl, because she turns. She raises her head, then her eyes meet yours. You thought the girl pretty when first you observe her. What? You thought the girl pretty when first you observe her. Okay. Sitting on the edge of her plush, velveteen bed, examining her doll. Now she is looking at you, however, her face illuminated by the flames in their grate. You can see that you were mistaken. She is not just pretty. She is beautiful. So much so it is breathtaking. Am I in love? Is this a love story, actually? She looks as though she has stepped out of the pages of a picture book. That pretty, huh? For glazing. She is simply too perfect to belong to this world. Perhaps she is some kind of vision, a waking dream, a hallucination, but no. She is none of those things. The doll in her lap is a cold, hard thing made out of porcelain, and it is unflinchingly, reassuringly real. If she were a mirage, surely she would not be able to handle physical objects such as this. It is strange, though. The doll... Wait. Okay. Just checking if my thing is not muted. The doll, though immaculately made, looks oddly imperfect when compared to the girl who is holding it. Comparing a girl to a doll, nice. She is so startlingly beautiful, she even puts man-made representations of feminine charms to shame. The sight of her makes you feel rather weak. God dang, we're glazing so much. You always have had a fondness for fair maidens, haven't you? I do love me some maidens. You're rather hopeless when it comes to them, even worse than a knight errant from a courtly legend. Me? Your aesthetic appreciation is not particularly ladylike, but, well, it is not every day a girl encounters an elementary beauty like this, attired in red, illuminated by the firelight. I suppose I can forgive you for this rudeness. As to, can the girl? Is she gonna talk to me finally, or are we just gonna stare at each other? She does not seem to be the type to hold a grudge. Oh, the girl says in a voice that, surprisingly enough, far less refined in her appearance. It is good to see you. I've been waiting. Has she? That is news to you. You blink, flex a response with the tip of your tongue, but you are unable to expel it into the ether. The girl is setting her doll aside, and she stands the hem of her dress, swishing about her legs. Nimbly like a ballerina, she canvases the space between you. Her room is so very large, there is quite a lot of space. Then takes your hands in her own. You must... The girl says, her eyes aglow with excitement. Be my new lady's maid. It's been a while, but it's such a relief that you've been finally arrived. I knew you would. I knew you would. You never leave me alone, not when you knew how long I was waiting. Oh, I'm so happy. Girl's good mood is contagious so much, so you find yourself being swept away in it. Oh. You are tempted to accept any identity she might press upon you. You have never been a maid before, but you might not mind being this girl's maid. Bro, we're simping. We're gonna agree to being a maid to a stranger because she's pretty. I mean, valid. She does not seem like a poor mistress to serve, not if she is always this kind. You cannot mask the confusion, however, which flickers across your face. You are not a good enough actress, and in any case, this is all happening too quickly. Why? You barely know this girl. Why is she being so very familiar? It is with blank bovine eyes that you examine the girl. Your befuddlement is pronounced enough that even the girl, despite her good mood, notices it. She frowns. Then she says, her fingers sliding away from your own. Or am I mistaken? Are you not my new lady maid after all? The disappointment in the girl's face is abundant, so much so your heart clenches. You do not know her. She is so a stranger that you are struck, all of a sudden, with the intense desire to appease her. You do not want to let her down. The thought is devastating. You were not aware. You tell her that you had applied to be her maid, but if that is what she wills, you would not be opposed to it. Wow. We're gonna be a maid to a stranger because we think she's pretty. Wow. The glaze is unreal. You pray that she forgives you, though for your discombobulation, you come from a distant country and you have traveled for many miles. You know not where you are, and you do not know who she is. What? You don't know who I am? It is regrettable, you tell her, but no, you do not know her, though it is no fault of her own. Why? You have spent such a long time running, you hardly even know yourself. So that's still a mystery. Why are you running? Ah, so you are a fugitive, then from another country, I see. You won't pry into your past, then, if you'd rather forget about it. I don't mind sharing my past with you, though. Everybody in this country knows who I am, after all, or at least they should. Now, this is quite... This looks interesting. Please don't forget to stay hydrated. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, yeah. Alright, now this is quite the impressive boast. If it were to come from the lips of another, you would find it unpleasantly arrogant. You do not think, however, that this girl is trying to show off. You get the feeling instead that she is merely telling the truth. If you do not have the pleasure of knowing me, then allow me to do the honors. My father and my mother were the king and queen of this realm, and I am its princess. I've lived in this castle for all my life, so I don't know how much about the outside world. But I know that other countries do exist out there. I presume it is from one of these foreign countries that you come from? It's very good to meet you. I've always wanted to talk to somebody from overseas. It feels like quite the opportunity. The girl giggles at this, and you smile in response. You tell her unthinkingly that this is your pleasure, really, to meet her, or at least you mean to. You only get halfway through this remark when the full gravity of what the girl has told you sinks in. You come to a stop, then you stare. Did she just say she was a princess? Yes, that's right, I'm a princess, and one day I'll be a queen. After I've done a little bit of growing up. My ministers don't think I'm ready to run the country just yet, but I've been doing my best at my lessons. One day I'm sure I'll be the best queen there ever was. So she really is a princess. That makes sense, I suppose, given that she lives at a castle, but it comes as a surprise regardless. Yeah, it is a surprise because where's your guards? Like, where's your knights, you know? You gotta known before you entered this chamber that you were trespassing on the lady of such great renown. Why? Is she wielded? Is she gonna have you executed for your carelessness? True! An ugly red flush creeps up your face, a flush which is far more lurid than the princess' dress as you look to your feet. I'm gonna look to my feet? Wow, feet! Bashfully, you stammer out a new address that you are very sorry for intruding upon her, and you hope that she can forgive you. Oh, it's alright, think nothing of it, I don't mind really, we all make mistakes. And anyway, you want to know, you said you weren't from around here. You nod your head in silent affirmation. It isn't a complete lie. It's not a lie. You really are not from this country. You're not from this world after all. How wonderful. I'll look forward to picking your brain later. Is that literally, or? I'm scared. All my servants come from the nearby village. Their tales are all the same, and so are their superstitions. I could do with a breath of fresh air. My last lady's maid told me I was too impetuous, but I don't think there's anything wrong with wanting a bit of an adventure. Not that I've ever been afford much of that. I've been shut up in here for so long, I hardly ever get the chance to talk to other girls my age. My last lady's maid was older than me, and so was the one before her, and the one before her. Some of the princess's fair mood seems to dissipate as she speaks, her expression turning by degrees into something rather more pensive. But I haven't seen any of my old lady maids in a while, or any of the other servants for that matter. They've all disappeared. Now that is quite curious. How could a whole household full of servants simply disappear? That I don't know. This castle was full of servants once. My lady's maids, and my undermaids, and my scullery maids, and my housekeeper, and my cooks, and a large retinue of retainers. They're all gone now, though. I think my ministers must have sent them away. I don't know why they would have done that. They didn't explain it to me. But then again, they never explained anything to me. They still treat me like a little girl. It is so tiring, she said. Her ministers sent her servants away. What of her parents, the king and the queen? Would they not be the ultimate authorities in the castle's hierarchy? Interesting. This is interesting so far. They would, yes, if they were still alive, but they're not. They died a long time ago. I was raised for most of my life by my servants. Oh, you answer and then you flush. Let it know when you're... It's alright, you don't need to apologize. I'm just happy to have you now. I was getting sick and tired of only having my dolls to speak to. They're the best conversational partners. You can imagine. So, yes, you doubt any doll, even one made by a talented artisan with an intelligent face indistinguishable from a human's, would be very good at answering back. Oh, no, they aren't. They're hopeless at it, really. They're so stony-lipped. You have no idea how much of a relief it is to see you. This castle is so big, and without my servants, it feels so very empty. It gets so lonely here. Now, that is an interesting turn of phrase. It catches inside your head like a burr. Have you heard it before? You don't have much time to ponder this, however, because the princess is speaking at you in that curiously conversational manner of hers, which does not seem particularly princessy. Maybe you should learn how to speak from her servants. That would explain why her consonants are so unrefined. Maybe she's not a princess. No. Oh, but listen to me, yammering on again. If it's a bad habit, I really must put a stop to it. You're probably tired, dear one, from your travels. Would you like me to show you to your room? Yes, the princess announces, before you can say anything in reply. I think I'll just do that. Do just that. I might show you a bit around the castle first, though. It's like amazing now, and I wouldn't want you getting lost. You'll be staying here for quite some time after all. I don't trust her, I'm scared. In the lie, I'm scared. The princess then hastens to take you on a tour of her home. She's kinda scary. Yeah, she is. Fortunately, she does not show all of the rooms in her abode, and neither does she offer overly long descriptions as to what the few rooms that she does show you are used for. She does, however, pause with the kitchens, where she offers you some victuals. Once the growling in your belly has been satisfied, the princess then resumes her journey. She leads you down to the dark, twisting hallway and up a series of equally dark, twisting steps until she arrives at long last before a door. The princess pushes this door aside, suddenly thus permitting you entrance to a small, humbling bedchamber. It's scary. This castle is scary. I don't know why I picked this castle, man. It's kind of scary. Its chamber is not half so opulent as the grand bedroom in which the princess resides, with its resplendent four-poster and its richly patterned wallpaper. This room's ceiling is not as high, and the singular bed shoved against the wall is thin and narrow. The walls are an unamusing beige, and the floor beneath your soles is of warp wood. Is that how you say it? I don't know. There's a Malodorous. That's the. Oh yeah, this visual novel has some big words that I can't pronounce, so I'm so sorry for that. Which hangs in the air at one of disuse and general decay. You get the feeling that nobody has slept in this room for quite some time. That might explain why it feels so very cold in here, though. If the princess tours of her castle has taught you anything, it is that it is cold in every room in her abode. Now, here we are, the final stop of our tour. This will be your room, dear one. Hope it's to your liking. The princess, despite her exalted status, looks somewhat uneasy as she observes you. Oh shoot, my bad. Her eyes upturned like those of a loyal dog's. I don't trust her. She's kind of scary. Is she concerned about your reaction to this room? Perhaps she is afraid that you will turn your nose up in her kindness. For a princess, she is awfully eager to please. This unexpected contrast between the princess' lovely title and her ingratiating attitude makes you smile. The room is rather scantily, yes, when it comes to its contents, but it is more than passable. It has a roof and four walls, and though it is cold, you fancy you will feel warmer once you have slipped beneath the bed sheets. The room is not quite so fancy as your dormitory at the conservatoire, and neither is it too large, but it does have one glaring improvement over your previous lodgings. English word, hard to pronounce. You will not be expected to share it with anybody else, unless, okay. There's only one bed in this room, and this bed belongs to you. You think that the peace and the quiet will do you a world of good. You tell the princess as much, and she smiles. That's good. I was worried you wouldn't like it. I know it isn't much to look at, but it's one of the nicest servant rooms we have in the castle. Most of the maids sleep beneath the roof in this teeny tiny room, which is all cramped. There's 10 beds there, and they're so close together, there's barely any room to pass between them. I thought it was perfectly ghastly when I saw it the last time I went up there. Not that I was supposed to be up there. It was a rainy day, and I couldn't go outdoors, so I was doing a bit of exploring. If the housekeeper had known I'd be sulking around, I don't think she would have been best pleased. No. Mysteries. I don't know what to think of this princess yet. Kinda, for once, she's kinda scary. Anyway, well, in any case, nobody sleeps up there anymore. The scullery maids are all gone now. I couldn't put you up there, though, in the attic with all those empty beds. I didn't think it'd be very cheery. You're not just a scullery maid, you're my lady's maid. That means you deserve good lodgings, and it'd be an insult to offer you any less than this. Now it's getting late. I have to figure me for rabbiting on. I've heard it. It's something I tend to do. She's a yapper. It's a bad habit, one that's unbecoming for a lady. The housekeeper's warned me enough times. You assure the princess to the contrary, smiling as you do so. You do not mind if she talks too much. That is better than not talking at all. Her affable nature makes it easier to spend time with her. Manners be damned. You were always scolded too back in the conservatoire for your behavior. You know full well how aggravating it can be need to be upgraded enough, not for any particular misdemeanor, but for being yourself. Well, I'm glad you understand, the princess answers with a giggle. I really should be off, though. It's bad manners to keep you, especially when you look so eepy. Eepy, eepy. Get some rest. We can talk tomorrow if you don't mind my ceaseless prattle. I'm glad you seem to appreciate it, at least. So I'm sure you'll get tired of it eventually. All of my old mates did. Is that why they all left? The princess departs, and her absence to take a seat upon the bed, your new bed. You cannot help but think that this is all happening very quickly. It does not seem like a very long ago that you were still in the forest, running for your life amongst the tall, imposing trees with their gnarled, grasping branches. Well, that's like that happened earlier, so the forest might as well be a distant memory from now. No, that's like 5 minutes ago. What do you mean? You're indoors, inside the castle, no less. You have been given a room in which to sleep and clothes that you might wear. It seems premature still to declare that you are out of the woods in a metaphorical sense. I mean, but things could certainly be worse. Force yourself to stand on legs which feels too weary to support you, and change into the night clothes hanging in the wardrobe. The night clothes do not fit you perfectly, but you are too tired to care about that. You're too tired to care about much of anything. You retreat to the bed and slide beneath the sheets, then you let your eyelids fall shut, and you eep. You exhale, then lulled by the breeze which blows outdoors, you fall asleep. The child is eepy. I am eepy. You're very tired. Your sleep is a deep, dark one, darker even than the furthest abyss of the nighttime. Like the nighttime sky, which shimmers with stars, your sleep is not devoid of these prismatic fragments you humans call dreams. Though in this case, I rather think your nocturnal imaginings are, or rather more than that. They're not dreams, are they, to which your slumbering mind is subjected? You know they are not, otherwise your body would not be very cold, not so clammy. The images that flicker beneath your closed eyelids like the ghostly images in a... What the hell is that? Phanakistoscope. I don't know. Were not conjured from within your mind. They were instead taken from your memories. You are not merely dreaming, you are remembering. You remember the girls who slept in your dormitory and how they always hastened to use the shower first. You were last for breakfast. You remember how, when you finally did arrive at the dining hall, the most desirable morsels had already been snuffled up by the girls who got there earlier. You struggled too to find a seat. Once you finally did, you get your hands on some food because nobody ever wanted to sit with you. Damn! Just damn. It's kind of sad. The other girls all acted like you were a leaper, save for when they wanted favors. They never asked for these favors, mine, for why would they? To them, your father's prestige did not matter. They were all wealthy ladies too, many of them wealthier than you. When everybody has the airs and graces of a princess, how is anybody supposed to stand out? You stood out as the least in your class, perhaps because you were one of the smallest, the frailest, the sickliest, who always came down with colds in the winter. So I'm weak. Your poor health did not stop the other girls from treating you as a servant, though, when they remembered that you existed, of course. Okay, sad lore. It was your lot in life as you dwelt within the stone walls of the conservatoire to carry school bags across the field like a pack mule. Then, come the evenings, the girls in your dormitory had you sewing on missing buttons and ironing out of the creases and wrinkles in their uniforms. They're dickheads, what the hell? If there was an odd job that needed performing, you would always be asked. But these girls did not ask you. That would have been too civilized. They ordered you instead. As they ordered you, they laughed at you. They laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. The laughter hurt, but it hurt considerably less than the kicks did, and the slaps and the pinches. Once during an embroidery lesson, one of your classmates had an accident with her sewing scissors. She stumbled, or at least she pretended to, and before you knew it, the silvery blades of those scissors were embedded in your left. Oh, god damn! Okay, so we're getting bullied back in our dorm or wherever we came from. It's kind of messed up. This happened quite some time ago when you were even littler than you are now, but you can still remember it. It hurts a lot. The scissors were sharp and they perforated your skin, not all the way down to the bone, but enough to bleed. Your wound bled bright red like strawberry jam all over your embroidery. Then, when your professor saw it, she shrieked. Her face turned as pale as the way, and she looked for a few moments, though she might faint till you were the one who was in pain. Your professor looked at your face. She could not bear to look at your hand, then demanded to know why you could not be more careful. What the freak? I'm getting bullied, prof. Her tone had been an accusatory one, almost as if you had stabbed yourself in the hand with your sister to goad her. Oh my god, what an idiot. The pain in your hand hurt, but the giggles of your persecutors hurt all the more. They never were punished for that, of course they weren't. Perhaps your professor did not care enough to punish them. Perhaps she, like everybody else, thought it was all your fault. The wound, when all was said and done, was not too deep. You did not even need any stitches. It healed well enough in time and on its own, though it still left a scar. A white raised thing like a crescent moon. You still have that scar. You do not know how much blood you lost. It seemed like a lot back in the classroom. You could smell it in the air, sharp as iron. But it could not have been that much. Evidently, if your wound had been more serious, perhaps your professor might have cared. Perhaps your classmates too would have felt some modicum. Modicum. I don't know. Modicum of guilt over what they did. But this seems very unlikely. You know that your blood meant nothing to your classmates. Why should it? If you meant next to nothing, then the blood in your veins was, if such thing is possible, even more inconsequential. Damn. That's a dream? Let me fix my chair and sit back, because what the hell is happening? This is messed up. I'm gonna save this shit. Yes, alright. Feel disoriented when you awake at long last with the rising of the sun. You do not remember what you dreamt, but you do not think that your dreams were of a particularly pleasant nature. If they were, your heart would not be hammering so. Ooh, the heartbeats. I'll at ease you glance around. You are lying in a narrow bed in an unremarkable room, one with dull beige walls and a wooden floor. Where exactly? What do you mean? Where exactly am I? Did we forget already? Like, we're at the castle, right? Like, how did we forget? We're at the castle. Wait. Let me just check something. Like, I actually don't know how long this game is. Let me just check the other. Wait a minute. How did we forget though? It's kind of crazy. Give me a second. I'm trying to look for something. Oh no, I see. So each route is different. I see. I guess this is the castle route. I guess I'll do the other routes next time, but for now we're gonna do the castle route, yes. Anyways. This is fun. I like it. I actually like it. Anyway, where exactly are you? This does not look like your dormitory in the conservatoire, not unless it has shrunk threefold overnight. So we somehow forgot that we were in a castle and that we met a pretty princess. We somehow forget that part, and yeah. Your brow furrows as you attempt to recall the events of the night prior until with a gasp it all clicks into place. You remember now, you were running through the woods, trying to escape from. You shudder. You do not want to think of what it was you were trying to escape from. You presume that you must have been given your hunter the slip, though because you are still in one piece! The One Piece! Aetemo yumi wo Atsune sagashimono sagashibi yuko no sa. Sorry. Awake and alert enough to face the dawning of a new morning, you still have all your limbs and your facial features appear to be in the correct configuration. Okay, so we're alive and well. Very cool. That is more than enough to be getting along with. You look to the foot of your bed, then blink, bemused at your discovery. You can see lying upon the sheets of a garment, two garments actually, of black and white folded into a neat white square. I'm scared. What could that be? A maid's outfit? If so, it would not be too surprising. You can now recall your visit with the princess the night prior and her assertions that you must be her lady's maid. Well, if that is the role she wants you to assume, you have no qualms with it. It is far preferable to the other role you played last night, that of a startled quarry running from its pursuer. We still don't know who was chasing us. Still don't know. You press your fingers against the humble maid's attire. It feels surprisingly soft to be to the touch. Not coarse like you expected. These clothes are rather fine. Did the princess put them there? If so, that is all the more reason to wear them. You are not girlishly enough to deny her hospitality. You rise from your new bed, then undress yourself, unbuttoning the front of your plain white nightgown and setting it aside. This task accomplished, you then clad yourself in your new attire, black, white, and eminently sensible. You feel very far away from the girl that you once were. Your face might be the same as always, but something within you seems to have changed. You are no longer a student, not as long as you mean to reside within the princess' castles. You would far rather be her servant. Assured of your newfound identity, you retreat from your chamber, then make your way to your mistress's bedroom. The castle is a large one with many, many rooms, with many, many hallways to connect them. And for a brief while you find yourself horrendously lost. You cannot remember where the princess' bedroom is. You are beginning to feel rather disoriented when, to your relief, your eyes snag upon a stairway, which looks rather familiar. Could this be the way? You ascend these steps, your footfalls cushioned by the plush carpet which lines them, and find your way down the very same hall you traversed the night prior, if your memory does not fail you. In the princess' bedroom, now to be, yes, it is here. You rap upon the door, but receive nothing in the way of a response. Is the princess still abed? Princess, please do not kill me. I still don't trust her, but let's see. You wonder briefly whether you wait until she has risen of her own accord. But no, the sun is high in the sky, and it would seem a shame to let the princess sleep through the day. Yeah, princess. Oh no, there's no music, I'm scared. You ought instead to rouse her. That seems like the sort of duty a lady's maid should attend to. Oh, I don't like that the music keeps getting up sometimes, and then resumes, I think I've been traumatized by Doki Doki DDLC. Yeah, You enter the princess's bedroom and glance about. Her room looks much the same as you remember it from the night prior, till the ceiling seems to be even higher when viewed in the once morning's light. You can see, now that there are fewer shadows to impede your view, how very opulent your young mistress' abode is. Her armory is large and imposing, as a great inn which you will be expected to keep a fire lit during the nights. The princess herself, meanwhile, is curled on her side beneath the sheets, looking rather less grandiose than her title would suggest. She is attired in a nightgown adorned with frills, and her hair is split across her pillow like spilled gold in her slender arms. Meanwhile, held to her chest is a doll, the very same one she was cosseting last night. That creepy freaking doll. Anyways, you suppose this doll must be her favorite. Idly, you wonder what the doll's name is, so you do not suppose it matters all that much. It's time to wake your mistress. You call out to the princess, but she is largely unresponsive. Her eyelashes are still sewn tightly shut and her lips pursed in slumber. Sleeping Beauty? Maybe she needs a true love's kiss to wake up. Maybe. But I'm not gonna do it. Or will I? I don't know. You purse your lips too and sigh. Well, and nobody ever said your job would be easy. Once again, you call to the princess, and this time she replies. Her response is not a favorable one, however. She sighs and then turns away from you. Her doll clutched to her chest. By the way, that doll is porcelain. It's not soft. I don't know why she's, hugging that tightly. Wouldn't that thing be like hard and be like glassy? No? It's kind of weird. Anyway. Oh, excuse me. I just blew my nose. My bad. Anyway, just give me a little longer. The princess sounds so enfeebled. I don't know. But you do not take pity on her. If you have learnt anything from the conservator, save for knowledge pertaining to the respiratory tracts of fish, it is that one must be cruel to be kind. You do not think this adage was practiced with any great success in the conservator, but perhaps it will have more of an impact upon the princess. You tell her once again to wake up. More sternly this time, you will not let her sleep, for she has slept long enough already. It's already 3 p.m. Please wake up. It is very slovenly, really, do still abed at such an hour. Oh, defeated, the princess sighs. Alright, I can see that I can't twist you around my little finger. Oh, she's cute! Kawaii desu. Ojo-sama. Ohayou gozaimasu, Ojo-sama. Genki? I'm up. You don't need to nag me. Once you have roused the princess from her bed, and you have put her doll to one side, you set upon her toilet. Toilet? Like toilet? Like poop? I don't know. Toilet. You aid the princess in the brushing of her hair, a chore to which she submits willingly. Like a cat might allow its fur to be brushed. Aw, she's cute. You allow yourself to ponder as you see run the bristles of the princess's brush through her hair. How wonderfully soft it feels against your skin. But a curious query from the princess. Are you alright, dear one? Brings you back to your senses. You were rather lost in thought there. Look lively now. You wouldn't want the princess to catch wind of your salacious thoughts, would you? I thought you had learned your lesson about that already. What do you mean, salacious thoughts? I'm fine, bruh. Suitably chastened, you finish with the princess's hair, then set the brush aside. Now that the princess's tresses have been taken care of, you must start on her attire. The princess remains seated upon the edge of her bed. She can't dress by herself? I know she's a princess, but god dang, she's kinda lazy. Okay. The princess remains seated upon the edge. Okay. Skincare? I did not read that properly. Anyway, I'm gonna save just in case some bullcrap happens. Overwrite that thing. Spit on that thing. She does not ask you to avert your eyes, nor does she make any motion of divesting herself of her nightgown. It really does seem as though she expects you to undertake this task on your own. Is that alright? You ask the princess as much as you would not wish to impinge upon her modesty, but she only laughs. Yes, that's alright. It's what you're supposed to do if you're to be my lady's maid. I'm used to being dressed and undressed. I'm not a bit squeamish about it. She might not be squeamish about it, but I am. You are. You have never seen a naked woman before, excepting yourself. Even then, however, you have always dressed and undressed. Furtively, not wanting to examine your body for longer than is strictly necessary, you have never much liked the way that you look. You make a few more mumbled objections, but the princess sweeps them to one side easily. It's alright, I might be a princess, but we're both people underneath all of our clothes. I thought we looked much different. You are not sure about that? Yes, I'm not sure because, we're all different. You have not yet seen the princess unadorned, but you already know to look at her face that you are different. She is much prettier than you are. Glazing. Hola, soy español. Hola. Hi. But she is waiting, and you do not wish to keep her any longer. You steady your nerves. Okay. Then you reach out trembling hands, and you begin to undo the buttons which run down the front of the princess's nightgown. You work as quickly as you are able, which, given how badly your hands are shaking, is not very. You fumble with a couple of the buttons, flinching as you do so. The princess, however, seems blissfully unaware of what it's exactly you are doing or not doing, for your fingers have begun to size up at the front of her nightgown. I gotta breathe. Wow. So, yeah, this is happening. Yuri, nice. She is not even looking at you. Instead, her gaze is directed beyond your shoulder to the windowsill and the sky beyond it. It isn't particularly sunny, but I don't think it's too cold outside. Going for a walk might not be a bad idea. What do you think, dear one? You think that you would like to finish undressing the princess as soon as possible, so you can make some progress on dressing her again? The sight of all of this exposed skin is bad for your heart. Yuri. Holdy, you can speak Spanish? No, not really. But yeah, hola, ¿cómo está? Fortunately, you are able to make quick work of the princess's nightgown, despite your initial mishaps, spurred on perhaps by your anxiety. You bid the princess to stand, which she does, and neatly she steps out of her nightgown, her motions, once again, as graceful as fluid as a dancer's. This task completed, you search hurriedly, worriedly for the princess's red dress. Where is it? You cannot find it. Sweat begins to prickle on the back of your neck. Your palms, meanwhile, feel uncomfortably clammy. Knees weak, palms heavy, mom spaghetti. The moments pass awkwardly, uneasily, as you search the princess standing there, all the while as naked as the day she was born. Why did you not find her dress before you strip her off her night one? What a fool you are, bakayaro! The princess, nodding your panic, giggles and then says, Are you looking for my dress? Yes, you reply, your face flushed. That is what you were doing. I thought so. I did wonder before you started undressing me why you'd not ask where it was. Maybe it slipped your mind? Had slipped your mind, yes, to your shame. You were too busy trying not to fixate upon the princess's bared skin to think about how best to conceal it. This is definitely Yuri, My dress is in my amore, the princess says, glancing over to the aforementioned piece of furniture, that our armory. Oh, armory! I'm stupid. So dumb at reading. That armory of hers is an intricately carved wooden structure large enough, or so you estimate, to fit inside it enough dresses to attire a whole ballroom's worth of princesses. I'd like to wear that red one. It's my favorite. Would you be a dear and fetch it for me? I don't want to rush you, but it's rather cold in here, especially when I'm still naked. She raises a good point. That's a good point. This princess is smart. Beauty and bronze, as they say in the kingdom of where I am. Beauty and bronze is a deadly combo. You turn away from the princess and make your way to her armory. Once there, you open its wooden doors and pursue the clothes hanging within. It is just as you expected. Inside that wardrobe lies numerous dresses, all of them finely sewed and decorated with no shortage of ribbons, lace, and iridescent pearls. You find the princess's red dress soon enough, then hurry to her side. Oh, that's cute. Yes, save that. Slay, princess. God damn. With your spoils in hands, you hurry to dress her, concealing once again the princess's pale skin beneath layers upon layers of soft red velvet. Red velvet. K-pop, psycho, Russian roulette. Hell yeah. Well, your Spanish seems very natural. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. She is easier to look at now, you think, with her skin concealed. That might have been the most nerve-wracking task you have ever had to accomplish, even more so than your perilous escape through the foggy forest. Bro compared undressing to getting chased by a presumably murderer, you know? But okay, sure, bro. Is this a graphic novel? I think? Visual novel game, yeah. Why? It seems a small miracle you can still remember how to read. Ah, that's much better. Thank you, dear one, for your help. You've not been here for a full day, but I really wonder what I'd do without you. I'm pretty sure you can change by yourself, princess, and you're just lazy. But yeah, sure. Shyly, you assure the princess that you did nothing, really nothing beyond your job. You did not do anything incredible. And in any case, being complimented by somebody so pretty is embarrassing. Oh, don't be like that. I want to compliment you. Why shouldn't I? When you've been so helpful, it'd be rude not to. And anyway, she's cute though. I mean, she is. I think you're very pretty too. Oh my. World stopped. World is in slow motion. Yuri time. Okay, my bad. Your face flushes from this more deeply than ever before. You have to count yourself lucky, really, with what with all of this excessive blushing that the princess does not seem to possess any vampiristic tendencies. This is crazy. You're making yourself quite the easy target. Now, the princess declares, why don't we go for a walk? It's a nice enough day, and I get so very bored of being cooped up inside. You can't think of any particular objections to raise to this remark, and you think that the princess might have a point. The castle, though expansive, is somewhat stifling. The walls are so very thick, they put you in mind of a crypt. Crypt? I don't know I don't know how to say that. Crypt. With your acquiescence assured, the princess quits her chamber, her posture elegant, and her gait unhurried. She seems not to walk as she navigates her way through the seamlessly endless hallways of her home, but float like a cloud. The hem of her dress swishes around her legs and her hair shifts like a shroud. The castle's courtyard, meanwhile, is sadly lacking in comparison to the princess's beauty. The courtyard is fenced by the castle's walls, which look in the stark midday light, tall and imposing, faceless and soldiers standing sentinel. So the sun is out. It is not particularly bright, and neither is it particularly warm. The courtyard itself, meanwhile, is in a state of disarray. The flower beds are in shambles, all overgrown with weeds. You need a gardener, Your Grace. It's all rather depressing. The princess's castle might be a grand in scale, but the courtyard itself is simple and to claustrophobic degree like a coffin. The princess, however, seems not to share your dolorous mood. She, instead, looked elated by her newfound surroundings, her smile unwavering. She gambols like a lamb, flitting hither and thither as she examines the weed-infested flower beds. Her frolicking comes to a cease, however, by a bush. One is full of bright red ones. Oh, how very pretty. Do you think they are gorgeous, dear one? The flowers are too disappointing, you suppose. I mean, that's a highly 4K picture of a real flower. I think it is very pretty. They make for a fine spectacle, in fact, a welcome splash of color in contrast with the dullness and the drabness which permeates the rest of the courtyard. Though the other flowers in their beds are whittled things, it is not so for these roses. Roses! They are rich, bright red, just like blood, their heads so full they seem almost to droop beneath the weight of their own engorged petals. They are pretty, in a sense, but there's something unsettling about them, too, something that is almost obscene. How did these roses become so very red? Is it painted? Is it fake? I think it's fake. What has been sustaining them? Could it be possible that these roses have been draining the life from the other flowers which is struggling to grow within this garden? Whoa, chill! What is that mindset? What? It is a fanciful thought, but I don't think that's possible. Oh, they are simply divine. Looking at these roses always lifts my spirits. They really are my most favorite flowers. I simply must pick some of them. Perhaps I can use them to decorate my bedchamber. It could use a bit of a color. The princess reaches out as to pluck one of the roses free from its resting place amongst its brethren. You watch her, your breath baited. You're baited? Batted? Baited? I don't know English. Anxious that this gesture might result in a perforated flesh and bright red blood. The princess is not as clumsy as you fear. Of course, she is not. Who did you think she was? You? Who do you think she was? Rather than worrying about her people, you would be better served if you worried about yourself more. That's true. The princess holds her newly pilfered rose to her nose and inhales, her eyelids falling shut as the flower's sweet scent washes over her. A few moments of silence pass, awkward. Then the princess begins to toy with the petals which adorn the flower's crown. Now, let me see. I wonder what fate has in store for me. She loves me. The princess plucks the petal from the flower's overburdened head. So she's playing, she loves me not. Who is she referring to? Is it me? Is it me? Please be me. She loves me not. The princess continues with this childish incantation, all the while stripping a rose slowly and methodically of its petals. I can't read, my bad. These petals filter up the princess like bloody snow. The princess's voice, meanwhile, echoes throughout the courtyard, even more melodic than the strains of a pianola. She loves me not. She loves me not. The princess's fingers hover over the final petal which crowns her nearly denuded flower. Then, with a triumphant smile, she declares, "She loves me. I knew it." You watch your princess amused by her girlish good cheer. So, who, who is the she? Because I'm getting kind of jelly, princess. Because I'm here, Anyway, the little mantra she has been reciting is one that you are familiar with. The girls at the conservatoire also used to engage in this little game. The younger ones, at least, believe that a fairy tale prince would whisk them away. You might have participated in this game yourself when you were a child yourself, but you never pin your hopes and dreams on a handsome prince. Your interest in princesses has always been minimal. When it comes to fair princesses, though, that's what we're talking about. Prince overrated, princesses peak. Yes. Well, that's a different matter altogether, isn't it? Pleasantly, you ask the princess whose love is it she wishes to court. A query which makes the princess giggles. Is it me? Is it me? Is it me? Please me? Please me? Oh, dear one, who else would I be thinking of? Naturally, I was thinking of you. This is so peak! This is so peak! Oh my god! I'm blushing. I'm blushing. Oh my god. Naturally. Yuri, yeah. She says it so easily as though you had to have suspected as much, and indeed, part of you did. Princess Riz. Rin Riz. What? Riz says what? You wanted to believe, yet part of you was afraid to. You did not want to be arrogant enough to assume that the princess might care for your affections. You begin to blush, your cheeks almost as red as the roses, while the princess laughs. She laughs, and she laughs, and she laughs. She really loved that. Her voice clear and sweet like a nightingale's songs. As you were the funniest thing she has ever seen. You never liked being laughed at when you dwelt within the walls of the conservatoire, but it is different with her. So are we falling in love, or is this like a bait? Because a part of me still don't trust her. You have not known her for... Wait, let me just check something real quick. Yeah, okay. You have not known her for all that long, but you're already entranced by her ensnared. She has you wrapped around her little finger. Yeah, I'm getting manipulated. Let's go. The princess's laughter tapers off into a series of giggles as smiling she wipes her eyes with the back of her hand. That was quite the amusing diversion, but I've just had an idea. You look at the princess curiously. What idea? You can't tell. You cannot even begin to guess. I just thought that all this watching would be boring. You, the princess says, tossing the rose stem carelessly to the ground. You should give it a try. Please do, it'll be fun. The princess retrieves a second red rose from the bushes, deftly snapping it between her fingers, and offers it to you. I want to see what fate has in store for you too. You smile at the princess, touched by her enthusiasm. Indulging in childish games like this might not be the last best of use of your time, but the princess looks so very determined you would not wish to hurt her. Yes, we should do it for her. What could be the harm, really, in consenting? The only real casualty of this game will be one single rose, the rose that the princess is holding towards you. You reach out, meaning to accept the princess' offering, but... Oh no! You are clumsy and you seize the stem of the rose with a touch. Too much strength. I'm just too strong. Oh god. I'm scared. The head of the rose might be pretty, but there is more to a rose than its bright red flowers. Roses have thorns too. A fact you are now being painfully reminded of. Okay, we got bled on. Oh no! Your Grace, save me! Your Grace! Pain flares through your finger and you gasp. You take a step back, the hem of your skirt swishing around your ankles. That's a lot of blood. God dang! Your finger is stinging, and so are your eyes. But it's very so scary when they do it like this. Like there's no music at all. I'm gonna save it because I'm scared. You have to have been more careful. Why were you so stupid? Baka janayo. You poor dear, you're bleeding, the princess exclaims, alarmed. Then she frowns. This is all my fault. If I had not suggested this silly game, this never would have happened. Please, let me take care of you. And how is she going to do that? Perhaps she means to take a handkerchief around her pocket, with which she might staunch your wound. Princesses tend to carry handkerchiefs around with them, don't they? Silken ones? How else would they give brave knights tokens of gratitude once these aforementioned ancient knights have successfully slain the dragons? What the hell, they do that? When I slain a dragon, nobody did that to me. God dang. The frick? What? Princess says I can hardly dispense kisses as favors. It simply is not done. That is what you always thought, but... Please hold still, this might sting a little bit. The princess is anything but ordinary. Rather than take a handkerchief out of her pocket, she instead encloses her white, slender fingers around your hand, carefully as though she is handling a precious object. She raises your hand, her eyes affix all the while on the beads of startlingly crimson blood which are oozing hurriedly from your wound. She licks her lower lip. Huh. Then she dips her head. Whoa! 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 What is this? What is happening? What is happening? Okay. Okay, game, I see you. So, yeah, I think that's the first picture we have of us. That's quite cool. She parts her mouth, and with a soft sigh which borders on the sensuous, she slips your injured digit between her teeth. So much for princesses not dispensing kisses as tokens of appreciation. This might not be a conventional kiss, but feels intimate regardless, almost startlingly so. This is juicy. I'm gonna save this. Save it. The princess's lips, which are as red as any rose, are enclosed around your index finger. You can feel the warmth of the princess's mouth about your skin and the wetness of it. These sensations make your whole body quake. You did not expect this. Tremulously. Wow, I don't know how to read that. In a voice which wavers, you ask the princess what it is she is doing. Oh, the princess glances up at you, her mouth still enclosed around your finger. Didn't I tell you? I'm trying to stop the bleeding. Yes, you gathered as much, but is that a problem? I'm not making you uncomfortable, am I? It is not. It is not. You say that she is making you uncomfy per se, but this is rather awkward. You did not expect it. That is all. And is she not worried that this is quite unhygienic? Unhygienic? Cute. Yeah, I guess this is cute. The princess blinks. She is the very picture of innocence, which is funny, really, given your finger is still nestled against her tongue. I don't know what you mean by that exactly, but I've heard this is the best way to take care of cuts. My nursemaid used to do this for me, and when I was a child, it's what you're supposed to do. And you ask, your voice catching in your throat. Did her nursemaid keep staunching her wound with her mouth when she grew older? Well, no, but my nursemaid was dismissed when I was 8 years old. That's the normal way of things. I had my lady maids to look after me then. How very interesting. And did they ever clean her wounds like this? No, the princess says, smiling mischievously. Well, what a mischief this princess is. Wow. Because I'm not clumsy enough to cut myself, silly. No, that was quite the sharp retort. You did not expect it. Your face turns even redder, if such a thing is possible, so this might perhaps be to your benefit. With some luck, all your blood will flow to your face rather than to your finger, and your bleeding will stop. Has it stopped? Your injury was not a deep one. There should no need for the princess to keep on sucking. But she still is. Okay, I don't know what's happening no more. This is crazy. You are not accustomed to intimacy of this nature. It is making your heart flutter. If the princess knew what her mouth was doing to you, you are sure she would not be very so familiar. Wow, it's crazy. This is crazy. She's still sucking on that. Hoktua! Spit on that thing. You feel quietly, crushingly confident that she would scorn you for your feelings and deem them unnatural. Will not be the first time. At this point, you should be used to rejection. It still stings, though. It stings much more than any thorn on any rose ever would. Man, that scared me for a bit. I was like, what's gonna happen? Is she gonna bite me? I feel like she's not gonna let me leave the castle at this point. She's gonna trap me here. That's what I feel like. That's what I feel what's gonna happen. I don't know. Um, yeah, anyway. The days pass following your misadventures in the Rose Garden in a relaxed, unhurried sort of a manner. Your mad dash through the forest is beginning to feel like a distant memory, so much so you can scarcely recall the raw, naked fear you once felt as you fled for your life. Yeah, we still don't know what the context behind that is. Crazy. There's no running to be had while you were working for the princess. You would have nowhere else to run in, and in any event, there is no longer any reason to run. The shadows which once tormented you have at long last begun to recede. You can scarcely recall as you lay down in your bed the petty cruelties you were subjected to by your classmates at the conservatoire. They no longer matter. Your attention is focused not upon yourself but upon the princess. The more time you spend with her, the more you come to care for her. You have become quite besotted with her, but you are yet to realize that, well, I never how very ignorant can one girl be of her own feelings. The princess is not half so ignorant as you are. That freaking bird sound scared me. Though despite having spent her whole life within the palace's walls, the weight of her own feelings are not unknown to her, and during one stormy night she chooses to make them known to you. What that mean? What that mean? You are in the princess's chambers later, perhaps, than you ought to be. Later than is strictly appropriate. It is dark outside and there is little save the light of the moon to alleviate it. That and the fire which crackles in the grate. You have only just finished stoking that very fire and now you rise. Hello, your grace. You look to the princess who is lying in her bed and you bid her a good night. Oh, Yasumi. Josama. You have many nights passed. With a neat curtsy, you turn to leave. The princess' plaintive voice gives you pause. Wait, dear one, do not go. Not just yet. Perplexed, you pause, then look back at the princess. Though she is smiling, her expression is unusually wan. Is she alright? Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just nights like this, which makes me feel little... Oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. It's just... feel out of sorts. And what, you ask, does she mean by that? Yeah, what do you mean? Only that it's very cold and very dark. And it is very windy besides. I'm afraid there'll be a storm later. It was awfully cloudy earlier when we went out for a walk. The princess is not mistaken about that. The sky when the pair of you promenaded about the gardens earlier was grey and steely. The wind bitingly cold. You can hear the wind rattling mournfully against the panes in the princess' bedchamber. The princess' castle is built out of stone and is well fortified, but even with the fire, it is rather cold. You do not like to think about how much chillier, by comparison, it will be in your humble bedchamber, which is not fortunate enough to have its own fireplace. It might sound childish, but I've always found it hard to sleep on stormy nights like this. It makes me feel uncomfortable. Is she asking us to sleep with her? That's a big step, Your Grace. You look at the princess with no small degree of sympathy. No longer clad in her bright red dress, she looks oddly, uncommonly vulnerable. Will she really be alright all alone in her oversized bed in her high-ceiling bedchamber? You know it is silly of you to contemplate such a query. Why would she not be alright? There is nobody in the castle to hurt her, but still, you fret for her. As your lady's maid, it is your job to fret for her. You would never want your mistress to feel unhappy. You ask the princess what it is she would have you do, and the princess perks up at this, pleased, perhaps, that you are taking the initiative. I wouldn't like to take up too much of your time, but it's so very late. But would you mind sitting with me a little while longer and reading to me? Provided that you can, of course. This is a fair enough question, but your pride bristles regardless. Hastily, you reassure the princess that yes, of course, I can read. I am her. You were a poor student in many aspects at the conservatoire, but you had something of a gift when it came to the literary arts. Reading books is all you have ever been good at. Oh, I see. I suppose I should have known you're so incredible. I sometimes wonder if there's anything you can't do. The princess' high praises makes you flush awkwardly. You look away, being able to read. You reassure her. It's not such a great feat. Chill. I am great. Yeah, chill. Perhaps it isn't. We hail from, but it is here. Very few of my old servants could read, and they certainly couldn't read the books that I like. This piques your interest. Intrigue, you ask the princess what books exactly she likes. What books do you like? Your Grace, Princess? Well, I'm glad you ask. I'm fond of fairy tales, you see. Old ones from centuries past. I have a collection of them here, the princess says, indicating a book on her bedside table as a mortuary slab. The book is old, though, and the bindings are weak, the pages brittle, the writing woefully old-fashioned. Oh shoot, she's the one saying that, my bad. I didn't trust any of my past servants with that book, but I think you would do a good job breathing life into those old stories. Would you mind reading to me for just a brief while? Please, dear. Oh, please. She is overacting, but it's still cute, I could think. The princess' request seems a simple one expressed sweetly, so much so you see no reason to refuse her. Yes. Wait, actually, I like that art. I'm gonna keep that. It's a good art. Take a seat beside the princess upon her luxurious bed, which sinks beneath your weight. Then you retrieve the leather-bound book, which is resting upon her bedside table, and spread it open. Okay, one sip at a time. The pages of the book are very brittle, like the princess said, and the bindings of the book are loose. You can feel in the half of the book's manifold pages the weight of the ages concealed within it. How old is this book? Perhaps it is as old as the castle in which it resides. It is with a quiet voice hesitant at first that you begin to read to the princess a tale of the courtly love which culminates in a lavish wedding ceremony. All the while, as you read, the princess listens to you, enraptured, hanging, or so it seems, upon your every word. Once you reach the final praise imposed upon the pages of this H-tone, and they live happily ever after. Yes, yes, it's a happy ending, princess. The princess sighs as though Stalesman touched her very soul. With that, there was a handsome prince to marry me, she says, sourly. Oh, better yet, a beautiful princess at this point. I think I would even settle for a lowly scully maid. Are you referring to me? You blush at this idle remark and mumble softly that this would not be proper. The storm outside is still storming. Yeah. Right. And you have never been one to raise your voice. You do not expect, therefore, that the princess will overhear you, but she does. She observes you, her head resting against her pillows, and says, "And what would be the problem with that? As my maid, shouldn't my happiness come before any silly ideas of propriety?" Well, of course, you reply, but for a princess to marry a scullery maid, it's quite... You're still hung up about that, the princess titters. Don't pay it too much heed, I'm just talking to myself. So, I don't know, I am waiting for a twist here. I'm waiting for a twist, but if this ends up being just a, love story, then I would be perfectly fine too. But I'm waiting for a twist, because I feel like this is gonna be sad or maybe even scary later. As if anything like that would ever happen when there is no priest around who would officiate it. You think there are greater issues with the princess' plan than the lack of priests, though she does not present a good point. The castle is an empty one. Even if the princess were to find somebody that she loves, there would be nobody to make such a wedding official. You cannot help but feel like you have appointed a good deal of nuisance. But by the same token, do you not feel a touch of disappointed? Well, never mind. That was a nice story, the princess says, but I'm not sleepy yet, and it's still storming outside. But won't you read me one more? You would not mind, you reply, but it's getting late. You really ought to return to your own chamber. I know, but can't you find it in your heart to read one story to me? Just one. You can choose a short one, I won't complain. I have some doubts about that, but... As before, you cannot resist the princess's demands. I am a simp. I do what my princess says. Let's go. And it's not, you think, because she is a princess, although that is, of course, a part of it, but because she is, well, radiant, kawaii, utsukushi, but not. You think, as you turn to the next story recounted in this age compendium, want to upset her, you would rather cut out your own tongue. You read another story to the princess, which is of a familiar vein to the last. Impossible adventures culminating at their close in a happy marriage. It's always marriage in these fairy tales, huh? This tale delights the princess just as much as the tale you read prior, and she begs for another, and then another. One bedroom story soon becomes 5, and then even then the candle switch flickers on the princess' bedside are close, guttering out. The princess is not satisfied. God damn, we're gonna read all night. Like a grasping, greedy child, she has never heard of moderation. She's greedy. When she wants something, she seeks to glut herself with it. Her only quest of more. If she were less calmly, perhaps her inability to adhere to the word no would be seen as a character defect. The princess is very calmly, however, and so, when she makes her next request, you almost agree offhand without considering the ramifications. I think I could go to sleep now, but the storm is still raging. I feel lonely on my own. But that's the title! So lonely here. In this big, empty bed, so... I know. The princess' eyes lights up in the night sky in a thunderstorm. Why don't you sleep with me? There you go. You could have just asked that instead of making me read 1,000 books, You stare at the princess, your eyes wide as goose eggs. Ooga booga, I say. Slowly you blink. and just as slow you bid her to repeat herself. Don't you hear me? The princess giggles. Maybe you've been so busy cleaning up after me you've neglected to clean out your own ears. I said, dear one, would you like to sleep with me? If that is a question she truly means to ask, then it is easy enough to answer, hell yeah. It would be an honor. Bro said, of course. But would it really be alright for you to accept such an invitation? It must be a gross breach of protocol, surely, for a lowly domestic such as yourself to share a bed with a princess. You sit upon the princess's bedside, fretting while she observes with wide, beseeching eyes. I feel like something's gonna happen here that I don't like. I'm scared. She is waiting. Well, what's the matter, dear one? Why do you tarry so? Could it be? The princess's lower lips begin to tremble. Don't you want to lie with me after all? Oh no! No, that's not it. Sorrow present in the princess's voice and her face makes you feel awfully guilty. Hurriedly, you console her. You tell her in no uncertain terms that if she truly wishes to partake in your company, then you have no qualms with it. Why would you? Well then, don't just stand there. Dilly-dally, silly. Come and join me. This princess is a bold one. She is bold. And that is what you do, after returning briefly to your own chamber to change into your nightgown. Once dressed, you waste no time in returning to your impetuous princess's side. She's already lying in her glorious four-poster bed awaiting your return. I saw you are a knight errant gone away to slay some wicked dragon. I am a knight who slayed some wicked dragon. But nobody talks about that. The princess giggles when she sees you. In her haste of change, you have made such of the buttons. She bids you to come closer. I'm scared. Why am I scared? Let me fix that for you, silly. Oh no, you say. I couldn't possibly let you do that. I am but a servant after all. This is low-key freaky? I know. This is low-key freaky. Should it not be your job to dress her? Maybe so, the princess says, but I don't mind a bit of a role reversal. It makes things more fun. Try a few more refutations, but in vain. The princess summarily discards all of them. Quite at the princess' mercy, she might have been even more stubborn than you are. You capitulate to her demands. We have no choice. There's no music again. Please, 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 I'm scared. Don't do that. You let the princess unbutton the front of your nightdress, then rebuttoned them, so the fabric of your plain gown is drawn shut. I don't know if this has NSFW things, but if there is, I'm gonna alt-dub so quick and I'm gonna cover this. Satisfied with her handiwork, she has very elegant hands. The princess draws back and pats the mattress beside her. Now, come in. It must be hardly cold out there, but these sheets are warm. Clearly, the princess smiles. And so am I. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Chill. You feel warm yourself as you slide into bed beside the princess. Your face is as red as the gown the princess often wears, as red as the roses in the castle's grounds. Bars. All while, your heart is fluttering. Oh god. What if she eats my heart? What if she's actually a vampire? Does the princess know that what an effect she is having on you? Surely she must. How could anyone be so blind? There, the princess exclaims, with your body is lying beside hers. That's much better. Do you feel cozy now, dear one? You swallow, and with a shaky voice, you reassure her. Yes, you are cozy. You're quite cozy indeed. Very good. The storm might be raging outdoors, but it can get us here. I know when I'm with you, I'll be safe. It's strange, but the princess reaches out and then takes your hand in hers, twinning your fingers together like a chain. Wait a minute, this is kinda cute. When I'm with you, I feel so very light. It's so nothing in the world can hurt me. You make me feel safe, so I want to make you feel safe too. I'll take very, very good care of you, I promise. Wait a minute. I'm still waiting for a twist, but this seems very cute right now. I don't know. There's no twist happening. It's cute. I'm gonna save this. You return her smile with one of your own, touched by her thoughtfulness. Tell us something about her promise to make you wonder, should it not be your job to look after her as a domestic? In a way, the princess replies after a pause, but you've been taking good care of me already. Now I need to return the favor. As a princess, I'm supposed to look after my vases. It's all part of the job description. You were unaware that being a princess came with a job description. You thought that the profession came with far fewer written responsibilities and fewer forms to sign than, say, becoming a doctor or an astrophysicist or a mathematics professor. You tell the princess this sleepily, and she laughs. You do say some funny things, dear one. I think you must be tired. Rest your head. You've been working so hard. I think you deserve it. Wait, about that. We said some things that are not common for her timeline. I feel like we're from... well, we did say we're from a different realm. And we keep saying classmates. It's like the main character is from our world, and she mistakenly comes in this world. I don't know. Let's just go. Yes, you think only half conscious. You think you deserve it too. I've been working hard for a long time. I've been running for even longer. But now, at long last, you feel like you can let your fears go. Your eyelids begin to droop. Your body belurged by a sudden, all-consuming fatigue. I'm scared. And in a quiet, understated sort of a way, your consciousness is conveyed to Morpheus' kingdom. Your sleep is a deep one, despite the storm which rages outdoors. The wind is howling like a couple of wild cats, both locked in a vicious and bloodthirsty bout to the death. But you do not hear it. Swaddled by the warm blankets about you and soothed by the princess's presence, you're immune from all the ills of the world. You're with the princess, you feel safe, secure, and yes, you even feel loved. It is a pity, then, that these feelings do not last for very long. What do you mean? No? Oh, hell no. I knew it. Something is... Am I in the chambers? This looks like a dungeon to me. You know that something is wrong. Catastrophically so. The moment you open your eyes... I'm scared. Oh no. Oh no is right. Your thoughts are hopelessly jumbled, but you are certain that when you fell asleep it was in bed. A nice, warm bed. No less, beneath soft, comfortable sheets. You are not lying in a bed right now, though. You are not, in fact, lying at all. Oh, Ricky! I mean, this is our... Whoa, those are bones? Oh my god, I did not expect this. I knew that the princess is shady. Oh, that's where servants are. Did she kill them all? Oh god. Yo, that's why there's no people at the castle. She's a freak. Not in a good way. Oh my god. So my thumbnail is a spoiler. I just got that from itch.io. I and I just took it. But yeah, we uh yeah, coincidentally played this route, which is funny because I did not expect that. But yeah. I guess I'll be doing the... and never mind. Anyway, You are standing instead against a cold, hard wall made out of stone. The curve of your back is pressed against the wall so intimately you can feel its icy chill seeping through the fabric of your nightgown. Your feet, which are bare, are similarly pressed against cold, unfeeling stone. They feel so frigid you cannot help but tremble. You are trembling so much you can feel your teeth chattering together. They sound like castanets. The sound is almost jaunty as it echoes through yourself, for that is indeed where you are. The princess's bedchamber, where you fell asleep, is a thing now of the past. You are standing instead. You realize with a sharp start in the cell of some great underground dungeon. You swallow, and when you do, you can taste something bitter on your tongue. Your stomach is beginning to churn with anxiety. You feel like you are going to be sick, a feeling which wells up inside you to a staggering degree. When you catch notice of the stench, you are not, you realize, the only one in the dungeon. There are others here. Others attired in the simple black and white outfits of servants, which look much like the dress that you once wore. The others who are with you, however, in this expansive cell, manacled to the walls, are in no fit state to speak to you, nor to tell you of their plights. They are all unfeeling, unseeing, unbreathing. They are all dead. God damn. You cannot approach these servants to check their pulses, for you yourself are restrained, but even if you could, there would be no point. There is no way any human could survive the wounds which have been inflicted upon these sad, slumped bodies. Over there you see a woman slump, the front of her once white apron stained with blackish blood. There is a gaping wound in her stomach, once through which her entrails have escaped in some sort of burgundy goop, which might once have been pale pink. There is another woman slumped beside the first, of a smaller stature. She is skinnier. Maybe she is not a woman after all, but an adolescent like yourself. She might even be younger. The girl's age or lack of did not preclude her attacker from inflicting upon her horrors. Alas, for her body is even more mutilated than the first. Her body is peppered with even more wheals, and her face has been half smashed in. Damn, this princess is a sicko. Why is she doing this? Only one eye remains, staring fixedly at the wall opposite her. In the ruined remains of what was once her skull. Over there you see a woman who is missing both her arms and her lower jaw. Over there you see another one who is missing her entire lower half. Her legs gone. You have no idea. The injuries inflicted upon these bodies are ghastly, but their advanced decay is enough to turn your stomach. You know not how long these carcasses have been lying down here. They have begun to pure. I did not read that properly, did I? Sorry. Anyway, you fear a similar fate might befall you. Should you stay here? How should we escape, though? This feels like death all throughout, the frig. You need to escape. Fitfully you struggle against the manacles which bind you, but alas, it is no use. You cannot free yourself from the walls. Your restraints are much too strong, and you are much too weak. Panic rises up in your throat, cold and icy, while terror seizes your heart. This too glacial. It is obvious that escape is impossible, but still you squirm and writ like a rat caught in a firestorm. There is little point, however, to your struggles. You succeed in nothing as you attempt to free yourself, save making the steel manacles dig into your abused wrist more sharply than ever. You gasp. That hurts. Well, you ought to have known that would not work. That very definition of insanity is, performing a set of action over and over again, hoping for a different response. In that sense, perhaps one could argue optimism is not So very different from insanity. Now that is an interesting point to consider. Would you not agree? No. Evidently not. You are still trying to escape, you foolish girl. As if that will do you any good. The clangorous rattling of your steely restraint is rather starting to get on my nerves. You're making enough noise to raise the dead down there in your dark, dingy cell, and all your screaming is hardly helping matters. I wish that you would cease this infernal racket, but I know you will not. Nothing I say could ever get through to you. So, I'm very confused by this, because I feel like the narrator is somewhat talking to her, or is it just like her brain telling her stuff? Not that you have ever listened to me in the first place. Perhaps you would listen to her, though. Yeah, I feel like it's our brain. Anyway, Princess is here. Is she not your kind, considerate mistress? You know, I don't know what to say. I still like her. No, I'm kidding. Look, now, she has come all this way into the dark depths of the castle's cold and hospitable dungeon to see you. Is that not that kind of her? Oh, dear, and the princess trills, entering the dungeon with a series of lifting steps. It seems like you have finally awoken. How are you? Based on all that infernal racket you've been making, it would seem like you have no shortage of energy. Balefully, you turn your head as to meet the eyes of the princess. She is standing but a few paces away. Beneath the roughly hewn, I don't know how to read that, hewn stone arch which bids one entry but rarely even an exit to the dungeons. The dungeons are dull and drab. The princess is wearing her favorite red dress. It is so bright and brilliant that for a few moments it hurts you to look at her. Once the red of the princess's outfit made you think of romance, now it makes you think of violence. Well, that escalated very quickly. You must forgive me for leaving you down here for so long. That was unfair of me. I did think of waiting here with you by your side until you awoke, but... Once again, the princess giggles, a light, airy giggle which does not all suit the situation in which you have found yourself. Damn, read the room, princess. A dungeon is not a fit place have to offer a princess. It is horribly cold here, and so very drab. And there's nowhere nice and soft to lay my head. I could have bought my pillows down from my bed, I suppose, and my blankets, but then it would have gotten dirty, and that would be a disaster. I need to be more careful. I won't have anybody left to clean up after my messes soon. Not to have dispatch of you. Why are you doing this anyway? Like, what's the end goal here, princess? I don't see the point of all this. Like, you have slaves working for you, and then you're not gonna do anything for the rest of your life? I feel like that's a good trade. Why kill them, bro? That's stupid. Once again, the princess laughs. Her laughter is light and litting, like the jimming of a silvery bell, but is a little to alleviate your concern. If anything, it makes you feel even more alarmed. She says she meant to dispatch of you. Yes, that's right. Could you not tell? I thought you might have figured that one already, after waking up in a dungeon. Silly. Still smiling, the princess takes another step towards you. With that, you would cringe away from her, but you cannot. You are completely powerless. Thumbnail! The princess reaches out and places a hand upon your cheek. Her skin is very white, and her touch is cool. It is less so than the frigid air in the dungeon. Though your body is aching, the princess' touch is gentle, and you find yourself leaning into it subconsciously. We're still simping. God damn. You wish she would keep holding you. Yep. What is that called? Stockholm Syndrome tea? I don't know. You wish she could keep touching you. You luxuriate in her kindness as best as you can, but though the princess's caresses are tender, your circumstances rather undermine them. That's true. How can you relax like this? Ah, you're such a good girl. the princess says in a cajoling sort of voice, as one might address a cat. Calling me a good girl. Oh my gosh. Please, do what you want. You've been so lovely to me while we've been together. I really couldn't ask for a better servant. I feel as though I've been spoiled. Why, then you ask her, is she doing this? Improbable, though it sounds she must be the one who chained you up. There's nobody else in the castle who would have committed such a feat. Everybody else is dead. And I'm next, unfortunately. Why, yes, how very astute of you. I was the one who orchestrated all of this naturally, she says, as to her betrayal is matter of course. Why are you doing this? Please explain. I need a backstory. Why, you ask? Is this natural to her? What does she mean to do with you? Oh, only what I've done to all of my other servants. I have experience with this sort of thing, so please don't worry. I'll take good care of you. And by took good care, she means, naturally, I'll kill you. She's just sick in the head. That's it. She's just sick in the head. She's like killing for fun. She's very weird. This princess is very hen. There it is again, that word is something gross inappropriate given all which has transpired. Naturally, there is nothing natural about this. Do you not think so? The princess examines your expression ponderous. So is she just crazy? Yabay na. Yabay. It's natural to me, even if it isn't natural to other people. This just feels right. Imprisoning her servants in the dungeon and letting them die. Yes, exactly. There is a bit more to do it than that, though. Oh, of course, there is. I like you, the one. The princess says in a voice which sounds uncommonly serious. You have been good to me, like I said, and kind. For that I will be eternally appreciative. You have been so good to me, in fact, that simply being with you is not enough, not anymore. What do you mean? Your company can no longer content me. I'm a greedy, selfish girl, you see. Haha, you're a greedy, selfish girl. The princess smile widens into something sinister, eyes flashing with a fiendish fervor. I don't know how to read that. You have never before witnessed. So she's just a sicko. That's it. That's the explanation here. She's just like, I can't fix her, and I don't want to feel you beside me. I want to feel you inside. What do you mean? Are you gonna eat me? Well, of all the things your charming captain could have said, you did not expect that. The princess, perhaps noticing your confusion, begins to giggle, a giggle even lighter than the meringue, and this was airy. It's just as inoffensive. I can see that you don't understand, dear one, but you aren't the only one. Our last lady's maid said that too. Wanly, the princess sighs as a damn, these are some deep words, which makes her look even younger than the scant handful of years she truly possesses. And the one before that, and the one before that, and the one before that. And I thought that you at least might be able to appreciate my point of view, but perhaps not. I don't think it should be too complicated to grasp, really. But maybe my way of looking at the word is a little bit unique. That's what my nurse always used to say, at least, when she still had breath to speak, of course. You look at the princess, where is there for you to look at, really? Her eyes affixed to her face. She is still smiling, but there is something sinister about her smile. I can't fix her. Sorry. Or perhaps in your anxious state, you are only imagining that there is something sinister about her smile. It is easy to see things which do not really exist when your surroundings are festooned in shadows. In actuality, however, the princess does not look any different to how she usually does. Neither is she acting any differently to the way she usually acts. She has not changed. It is only your perspective of her that has changed. Termlessly, you ask the princess what she means, a question the princess is only too happy to answer. She's sick. Not in a good way. She's sick in a freaky-deaky way, you know? It's simple, really, like I said. You were wondering, weren't you? Why there weren't any guards or any servants at the castle when you first arrived here? The question that crossed your mind. Yes, you're sure that the princess and her mistress sent them away. It's quite obvious that it's them. Look, the frig. I'll save this. I'll save this. Was that a lie? I wasn't being solely truthful. No, I thought you would be afraid of me if you knew what had actually happened, and I didn't want that. I wanted you to stay with me. My mistress didn't send anybody away because I don't have any ministers. I dispatched of them too. Did she now? I suppose you ought to not be surprised, but still shudder regardless. My ministers weren't very much fun, I'm afraid. They had a lot of ideas about what I should and shouldn't do after my parents died. The princess stares at you, her eyes wide like black holes, empty yawning abysses. So I killed them. I killed my servants too, though I did more true job with them than I did my ministers. I did not care for my ministers, you see. They were all fusty old men, but I did love my servants. I love my ladies' maids, and my undermaids, and my scullery maids, and my housekeeper, and my cooks, and my large platoon of retainers. They were like my family. They raised me in my parents' absence, and I adored them. They were so very dear to me, and that I had no real choice. I had to eat them. Huh. Okay, Makima. I mean, no. Wait. Okay, Hannibal. Freak. Does that follow? I mean, she's blonde, she's pretty, just like Hannibal. Freaking DKA. Not logically? No. Why, you asked the princess, your voice trembling. Would you eat the people that you love? It seems a poor way to repay them for their kindness. Well, why wouldn't you eat the people that you love? I don't think there could be any greater way of showcasing one's gratitude unless you have any better ideas. Bro, she's sick in the head. What the heck? You weren't expecting the princess to turn the tables on you quite like this, and dumbfounded you stare at her. How are we gonna escape this? I feel like we're just gonna die. You know, precious little about love yourself, so it's hard for you to form a convincing rebuttal, but you muster up a few token arguments. You tell the princess that eating people isn't very nice. Well, actually, Your Grace, eating people is not very nice. It's not, and neither is it strictly legal. It's actually illegal and not very, not very fond of you doing that. So please stop. A better way to show your gratitude to your servants would be with increased wages or increased holidays. That's true. More money. Princess listens to your arguments. Her expression astute. Astute? Like a student poised to take notes in a very important lecture. Would be funny if this ends and she's just like, well, you're right, you're free. I'm not gonna do it anymore. Freak. This is so funny. Once you're finished, however, her concentration fails her. Her shoulders begin to shake, but it is not with remorse or for what she has done. Instead, she is laughing. Oh, dear one, that is very funny, but why should I care about the law? I'm a princess. One day I'll be the queen. I am the law. Okay, that's freaking rich people, bro. I knew it. Don't trust rich people. That's a lesson of this visual novel. That is a good point, but would eating people not turn her subjects against her? What subjects? I'm no fool, you know? No matter how I might act. And I know what happens beyond the castle's walls. I know all about the plague. Once I might have had a populace to govern, but they're all gone now. I'm a princess in nothing but name only, a monarch without any subjects. Don't you think that's sad? I know I do. It's so awfully lonely. So that's the title. So there's a plague, and she has no kingdom. She's just a queen by name. And I guess that makes her a sicko that broke her. I don't know. If If she's lonely and she does this, I wonder what the other two routes is gonna be like. It's gonna be crazy. If she feels lonely, then why has she been systematically slaughtering all of her domestics? It doesn't make a lick of sense. Perhaps not to you. Gently the princess caresses your cheek. He giggles. But I shouldn't judge you too harshly as much as I like you, dear one. You're a commoner, perhaps you can't understand the intricacies of my thoughts. Privately, you doubt that anybody would be able to understand the intricacies of the princess' thoughts process, largely because it is unreasonable. I like the main character. Like, her thoughts are funny. You do not say that, though. It said you ask her the only question you can think to ask with your weary throat, which is sore from shouting. Why? Why, you ask? The princess blinks. It's because I don't want you to leave me, of course. Everybody leaves sooner or later, whether they have been pledged their allegiance to me or not. That is simply the way of the world. Perhaps are fickle and inconstant, even to me, a monarch. That is why I decided to eat my servants. I had no choice. It was the only way to ensure that they would never leave me. I mean, they're gonna leave you if you poop. Right? When you think about it, they should be grateful that I would demean myself so to consume their flesh and blood. I am a magnanimous ruler, you see, and I treat all of my subjects equally. I love every single one of you. And naturally, I love you too. You have been awfully nice to me, and you are very pretty alongside it. If you were a plain ugly girl, perhaps I would not shower you with affection quite as intense as this, but you've captured my heart. I think you're lovely. God dang it. So you mean if I'm ugly, I could be alive by now? Damn. So I'll bestow upon you the highest honor I can conceive of. I want your body to mix with mine. Then we can stay longer, forever and ever. The princess leans in. You can feel her soft silken hair brushing against your cheeks. You can feel too the warmth of her breath as it goes against your skin. It is cold in the dungeon, but the princess' close proximity is perverse to this might sound something of a comfort. Her eyes are wide and her lips are so red. Her smile, meanwhile, is so sweet. I've been doing my best to fulfill that role that fate has dictated for me. But really... The princess exhales. Her eyes, which are boring into yours, are like two dark tans. Finally, you think you can see in the alarming lack of light, the lack of anything in the princess's gaze, some degree of humanity. It gets so lonely here. Peak Cinema! She said the title. But this briefly flicker of understanding which passes between the pair of you is soon to cut short. I wish I can just come to the screen and save them, you know? Prince Bobby. I said Prince Bobby. I'm not a prince, I'm just a knight. Sir Bobby, to the rescue. The princess dips her head. She parts her lips with her as red as the petals of the carnivorous flower. You feel the princess' breath against your neck. It is warm in the icy chill of the dungeons, and you shudder from it. For a few moments you think that this overture of the princess's could be romantic in a way, but this too comes to a swift, merciless close. The princess' mouth is on your cheek. Is she trying to eat me? Raw? Pause. Princess' teeth, sharp as needles, are in your... Oh my god, not the ASMR sounds. She's doing a live mukbang. The princess is draining your blood. She is supping on a great greedy gobbets like a hungry animal, one who cannot truly comprehend the harm it is causing. Even if the princess sups from you, her arms swing around your waist, you find you cannot hate her. Wow, you simp. You can't hate her when she's eating you? I mean, without context that would sound, but still, she is far too unworldly. You sure, as your conscience begins to fade, that the princess was being sincere when she spoke of her love of her past servants. This is simply the way that the princess expresses this great love of hers, a love which is so very abundant it borders upon the monstrous. It is a love you never thought that you would ever experience. This love of the princess eclipses anything you have ever known before. It eclipses sanity. It eclipses reason. It eclipses all notions you might once have had of right or wrong. The princess, as you know full well, does not care about such concepts. You have always possessed a stubborn core nestled beneath your weak-willed exterior, but the princess is even stubborner than you are. In the face of her love, you have met your match. The princess draws back desperately. You gasp for air, but she does not give any quarter. She dips her head, her red lips redder still with your blood, then splits apart her jaw. Her teeth, which are impulsively, inhumanly sharp, glints wickedly like knives. We're getting eaten. We're cooked. Then she tears out your throat. The end. Oh, we're dead. The front of your nightgown was white once, now it is red. There is so much blood, you can smell it when you inhale sharper than metal. It's so potent you can taste it on your tongue. You try to inhale, but this task proves to be beyond you. But with the twin perforations, I can't read. It must have ruptured your skin. Your attempted breaths when they escape your lips sounds like sad, sorry wheezes. Your whole body, meanwhile, feels as though it is on fire. You make for some quite the sorry sight indeed. But you'll forgive me if my sympathy is limited. You did bring this upon yourself, you know. You reap what you sow. And in your case, you made a series of bad decisions which led to your untimely demise. Now, what do you want to do? Will you accept this fate of yours and rest in peace, or will you try to fight against it? Oh, there's a choice! Can I... Wait, can I save this? Yes, I'm gonna save, because I want to know, because I'm gonna go back there later. Let's fight it. That's a good answer, I must admit. I like it. It is impressive how very defiant you can be, even in a situation as discomforting as this. Now, try not to cry. Keep your chin up. This is but a minor setback in your story. Like all fair maidens, you are deserving of your own happy ending. You need only the strength to try to seek it out. Why don't we give this another go? Just try not to ensnare the hearts of any more monarchs, particularly those with unusual appetites. You are destined for a far greater purpose than being an entry, and a vastly more enjoyable ways to be eaten in this world. Your fate is once again in your hands. Now I wonder, which path will you take? Ah, I see. I'll save that. So yes, I'm gonna do this two hats maybe at some next streams because my voice is kind of dying right now upon reading all this. So I guess I'm gonna have to cut the streams. I'm gonna go to the shore next and then the village next stream. But for now, let's see what happens. Wait. Idle. Yes. Let's see what happens if we accept our fate. What? Really? You're fine with being eaten alive in a dark, dingy dungeon than being left to rot? That does not sound like a very satisfying ending to this particular narrative. But if that is what you want, then so be it. I do not mind indulging you. This is what I have always done after all from the moment we first met. I have dedicated myself tirelessly to answering your wishes, and this is no different play. I can feel like somebody is talking to me in this narrator. I feel like it's not her thoughts. I feel like something is talking to her, you know? Do not be so foolishly to think, Tove, that you can escape me even if your life's blood has mingled with that of the princess's. I am not going to relinquish my hold upon you that easily. I did pledge, after all, to remain by your side. Come what will, fire or flood, I will never leave you. You will never be lonely again. Wow! That was good. God damn. Wow. Um. Um. Final thoughts. I'm gonna make myself bigger for this. But yeah. Holy crap! What a game. Gosh. What to say? Yes, we're gonna continue the two routes next stream. I'm gonna go to the shore next because I'm interested in what on the shore is. But as much as I want to continue, I think my voice can't take much more because I've been reading for 2 hours and I need to rest. But yeah, for those who have joined and for those who stick around till the end, thank you so much. It is I, Sir Bobby Buvett. That was nice. That was nice. I liked that. I knew that the princess was up to something from the moment I met her because there's no people. It just seems so fishy. So yeah, that was something. But can I fix her though? If that was me instead, maybe, because I'm him, you know. But yeah, great game, great visual novel. If you guys want to check it out, I'll leave the link of the game is in the description down below. So yeah, yes, we will continue this next stream. Promise, probably next week or when I'm when I want to stream. Yes, follow my Twitter for updates regarding about that. Besides our Bobby Bouvet, thank you for joining our quests. I'll see you lads at the next stream. Yeah. Copy.